Yeah, we're doing an insurrection update and I hit the wrong button. There's an old button on there. This is the time to go ahead and spam those hearts. Spam those hearts. Let those mods and admins know that you appreciate all the hard work that they do and everything that you do. It also lets Yoda the Wonder Pug know that you love him also. And yes, we are doing Insurrection Update tonight. Jennifer, I guess because you started the other one or ended on the other one, I go ahead and start this one.
Okay.
This one. Arrested this past Monday after the FBI raided his Manhattan home, former New York City Police Department officer Tom Webster turned himself into the Hudson Valley FBI office later the same day. He was ID'd by social media post and his distinctive jacket and hairline. Webster was seen gouging out the eyes of a Capitol police officer. He blinded him and swinging a pipe at others to the point that the pipe was bent like a friggin' pretzel when he was done. As of today, Webster has been denied bail. Rightly so. Not because he's a flight risk, but rather because his violent behavior suggests the former police officer is a threat to his community. You think? And Jennifer, here's the thing that I've got to wonder, since he was so good at gouging eyes out, how many eyeballs did he gouge out in the dark alleys of New York City as a police officer?
Yeah, where did he learn to perfect the swinging of a pipe and the gouging of an eye? Protect and serve, right?
Exactly. Not even Yoda doesn't even like that story.
Oh, I'm sorry, Yoda. All right. This one, I like this one. Richard Machete of Ridley Park, Pennsylvania, is currently under house arrest after his ex-girlfriend turned over a series of texts she received from Machete during the insurrection where he told her, quote, "If you can't see this election was stolen, you're a moron," end quote. In addition to the incriminating disparaging texts, court documents show numerous photos of Machete at the insurrection wearing a Chicago White Sox baseball cap. Machete also sent his former girlfriend a text stating, quote, "This is our country. Do you think we live like kings because no one sacrificed anything? The vote was fraud and Trump won, but they won't audit the votes," end quote.
Gross.
Yep.
Yoda's being vocal tonight, malcontents. If you're hearing the little woofs in the background, that's Yoda providing his editorial input on the situation. Spam those hearts for Yoda. And also, if you're on Twitch, you could use the Yoda emotes. I believe. I know you have to be a certain level, or you have to drop. I can't quite remember how it was set up over there, but I know there's a Yoda emote over there. And I always say I need to learn more about Twitch. Clayton Ray Mullins has been charged with assaulting a Capitol police officer after being identified by his banker on February 4, after the person took note of Mullins' unusual hairstyle. I wish we had a picture of this. Seen in video footage and photos posted on social media using the hashtag Sedition Hunters, Mullins can be seen assaulting a police officer who is only identified in documents as AW, and we don't mean the root beer, wearing a dark jacket, gloves, and light blue jeans and slicked back hair. Because if you're going to be going overthrowing the country, you need to be having that slicked back hair. Shortly after the footage made its way on social media, photos containing Mullins in his signature hairstyle, we got to find pictures of this guy, began trending with the hashtag slickback. Documents state that Mullins in his slick hair grabbed AW by the foot and helped the crowd drag the officer down an entire flight of stairs. Mullins is accused of several federal crimes, including assaulting an officer, obstructing law enforcement, knowingly entering or remaining in any restricted buildings or ground, engaging in physical violence in these restricted spaces, and violent entry of a government building. Jennifer, tell us what he's won.
Probably some time in jail and time without product to slick back his hair. That would be my guess. I don't know. All right. Are we moving on?
We're moving on.
All right.
And also, actually, before This is where you got it. You're winding up the votes. When we're done with this story, the polls are closed, and we'll find out what the story that we're going to unpack is. Okay, sorry about that, Jennifer.
After I do the Black History Month, shut up. Okay. So in the wake of the insurrection, Capitol Police Chief Yogananda Pittman warns domestic terrorists and members of militia groups want to, quote, kill as many members of Congress as possible, end quote, during President Biden's upcoming address to Congress. Pittman explains, quote, we know that members of the militia groups that were present on January 6th have stated their desires to blow up the Capitol with a direct nexus to the State of the Union address, end quote. Based on the information, Pittman suggests that it is essential that the Capitol Police remain in its enhanced and robust security posture and that any vulnerabilities be addressed. Vulnerabilities. I wonder what they're talking about. Pittman was asked about the need for continued heightened security by the House Appropriations Subcommittee, where she noted that insurrectionists weren't just looking to kill Congress members and police officers, but rather, quote, send a symbolic message to the nation as to who is in charge of the legislative process. So this is not over, folks.
Well, if you're going to attack the Capitol, and if you're going to do it when the State of the Union is going on, you have both houses, House and Senate. You have the entire Supreme Court. You have the president, the vice president, Secretary of State. You have, by proxy, the Senator Leahy, who is the president pro tem of the Senate and the third in the line of secession. So you have the top 5 people in the line of secession, as well as all other branches of the government, all in the same building. And you will have many of the cabinet secretaries there. This is why they have, since the Cold War, this concept of a designated survivor, one person who is in the cabinet, who is in that line of secession and is in an undisclosed safe location, that if everything goes to crap, then they're going to wake up in the morning and be president of the United States.
Yeah. So scary stuff. This is far from over. People, are optimistic. Yeah, we got rid of Trump, whatever. But, these insurrectionists are still out there plotting to do these terrible things because, one, they don't want change and they're white supremacist, domestic terrorists. But two, also because they feel like they've been wronged and they're too far down whatever QAnon rabbit hole they bought into this week to see that what they're doing isn't actually like, revolution, but, crime.